Good evening. Are you intrigued by the creature Grendel in the great epic Anglo Saxon poem Beowulf? If so, this is the video for you. This is part one of who or what is Grendel. Let's just read a bit of this poem in a translation by J.R.R. Tolkien. It was about a fiend of hell. Grendel was that grim creature called, the ill-famed haunter of the marches of the land, who kept the moors, the fastness of the fens, and, unhappy one, inhabited long while the troll-kind's home. For the Maker had prescribed him with the race of Cain, that bloodshed, for that Cain slew Abel, the eternal Lord avenged. No joy had he of that violent deed, but God drove him for that crime far from mankind. Of him all evil broods were born, ogres and goblins and haunting shapes of hell, and the giants too, that long time warred with God. For that he gave them their reward. So I just looked up the Bible and I can't see any mention of Grendel in the Bible. I can't see any mention of trolls or ogres in the Bible either, actually, in connection with Cain. But I found this. This is chapter 6, the book of Genesis. On the start of the chapter. When men began to multiply on the face of the ground and daughters were born to them. Okay, so this is what from Cain. He created, there's a whole family tree of Cain, children after children after children. He built a city early on, Cain did. And he knew his wife conceived, she conceived and born Enoch, and he built a city called the name of the city Enoch. Who was living in the city? Him and his wife and his son. Sounds like though he created a whole lot of beings, people. Anyway, I digress. When men began to multiply on the face of the ground and daughters were born to them, the sons of God saw that the daughters of men were fair, and they took to wife such of them as they chose. Okay, so the sons of God, in the Old Testament, this means the angels, divine spirits. So the sons of God, they're seeing all these women that are being born from Cain's family, for example. And they took to wife these angelic beings, such of them as they chose. That shouldn't happen. So these angels are coming down to be with the women, leaving the heavens to be with the women. What happens from this? The Nephilim were on the earth in those days and also afterwards, when the sons of God came into the daughters of men, and they bore children to them. These were the mighty men that were of old, the men of renown. Now, we encounter these Nephilim elsewhere in the Old Testament, these giant figures. They're described as so huge. At one point, some Israelites say, oh, we seem like grasshoppers compared with these great giants. Goliath was descended from these. So we heard this in the bit from Beowulf I just read out. Of Cain, all evil brutes were born, and the giants too that long time warred with God. And we see with in the Old Testament that for Israel, the Israelites coming into Israel, there's lots of wars with these evil giant people that are living in the Promised Land. Long time warred with God. And so this is where Grendel would come in, because he's a great big giant type figure, isn't he? It's like he's part of the Nephilim. So there we go. There's the biblical connection with what we read in Beowulf here. But I have a question. What about the flood? Didn't they all drown? And to address that issue, you'll have to watch Who or What is Grendel Part 2.